Hello and welcome to this episode of Living Remarkably. I'm Steve Gallegos. I'm a relationship coach, executive coach, and in general, first let me say something about the labels. There's a lot of people that want to put us into a specific niche, like, well, what kind of coaching do you do, and what kind of this do you do, and what kind of that do you do? And while I understand that that's valuable for marketing and for identifying your audience and that level of analysis that someone wants to engage in. The fact is that as a coach, I deal with people who are very complex individuals, right? Relationships are complex, people are complex. The situations that we get involved in are complex. Life is complex. It's not just like, I got a toothache, and so you go to the dentist, or I have something in my eye, so I have to go to a specialist. When it comes to dealing with life and coaching, it's not necessarily that way because there's such an intermingling of events, of emotions, of things that impact our lives. And so as a result, these things that impact us affect us in our relationships, in our marriage, in our dating life, in our work life, in our careers, in our life as students. And so to say that a coach, should specialize, all right, that's okay if you want to. But the fact is that if someone comes to me, an executive comes to me, a couple comes to me and says, we have this situation, it's usually not the situation. In other words, my job is to analyze what they think the problem is, and get to the root of it. And 9 times out of 10, actually 9.99999 times out of 10, the problem lies somewhere other than where people think it is. In other words, this happens too when you go to the doctor, right? We have a pain in our hand, let's say, right? There's a pain in our wrist. Well, a good doctor can actually tell you that, well, while you may be feeling it in your wrist, the problem actually comes from your shoulder, right? The way you moved it, or the way there's a nerve impinging or something like that. And it shows up in your wrist, or it shows up somewhere else in your body. That's what a good doctor does. And then he or she might send you to a specialist, which is something that I would do too. So for that reason, I hesitate to label myself, and I resist calling myself a particular coach in this or that area. Now, who do I work with? I do work with couples. I do work with executives. I do work with high-performing individuals. And the reason is because they know the value of coaching. They know the value of seeking advice. They know the value of seeking guidance at these important times in our lives, and even before those important times in their lives occur, and which is why I prefer working with them. There are a lot of people that are floating around that are just kind of making it through, living day by day, that, and you can tell them one thing, you can give them advice, you can give them guidance, you can give them a good book to read, you can tell them to go watch this video and go watch this speaker and go watch this trainer, and they've got some answers for you. And as much as that information is made available to those people, they don't either want to take advantage of it, or they don't take it seriously, or they don't see the value in it. And so I just choose not to work with those people. There's a saying that I learned a long time ago, maybe you've heard it, and it's true, is that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. In other words, all of this information that I'm sharing with you and that I've learned throughout my years of being a coach and being an executive and being an entrepreneur and business owner and a trial attorney and a musician, and living all of these experiences, which I bring to you, right? I bring to you this whole world of experiences that I've been living over the past 50 years, 50 plus years. It all is brought to the table. In other words, I bring it all with me as in my toolkit, so that when I'm speaking to you, when I'm guiding you, when I'm working with you, I have a lot of resources to draw on. I have a lot of experiences to draw on. And that is what makes me valuable as a coach. So I prefer to work with people that realize the value of coaching, not for the sake of coaching, but coaching for what it can bring to your life. a lot of times we are so focused in what we're doing, we're so focused on who we think we are, we're so focused on who society wants us to be, on who our parents want us to be, on who our bosses and who corporations and want us to be, that we fail to see beyond the scope of that particular environment. And that's my job, is to bring it out and to help you see the things that necessarily aren't in your line of vision. And I have a 360-degree view. I have a 30,000-degree view of life because I've been there. I've done a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. What am saying is that I do have lots of experience and lots of resources available to me so that I can help and guide a lot of people, and which is what I love to do right now. So that being said, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram at Stevie G Success. You can also follow me on Facebook on Stevie G Success, and you'll receive updates and you'll receive information on new videos that I'm creating. And just so you know how you can follow along one of the topics or the subject matters that I'm going to be talking about in this string of videos. Living remarkably has to do with living just a full-rounded, fun-filled, exciting, adventure-filled life, whether it be in your relationship, your career, your personal life, academic career, whatever it is that you want to do. And so if you go to my Instagram channel and scroll all the way down to the very bottom, you'll see that I started making some posts years ago. And each one of those posts has a subject matter and a thought or an explanatory thought behind it. Well, in these videos, I plan to expand on those thoughts only for a few minutes, just to give you a little bit more insight about what those things mean and how you can apply those into your daily life. As well, I'm going to be interviewing some really cool people, what I call remarkable people doing remarkable things, and we're going to do on-camera interviews with those folks so that you can learn from them, because again, you may not relate to me, you may not be able to identify with what it is I'm saying or what it is I've done or where I'm going or things like that. But there are people that I'm going to bring to you that maybe have an experience or maybe have an insight that you're going to be able to say, you know what, that person's spot on and they get me, they understand me, they've been through what I've been through. And I'm going to hopefully bring those people to you and bring you those interviews so that you'll be able to just create yourself a better life, the life that you want, the life that you want to design, and not the life that other people say that you should be living. So on that note, let's get to our first video.